Cermaq is farming in Norway, Chile, and Canada. What's your view on supply in 2021 from these countries? And where do you sit on how much Chilean production will be down next year?
Yeah, and thank you for the question, Tom. It is, of course, hard to predict, but historically we have looked more at Aakre bench numbers when it comes to the prediction for the Chilean volumes, and looking at the stocking numbers, which is quite reliable, and we do see more in the line with what Aakre bench is reporting. So we are expecting it to happen quite fast, and we're probably coming back to that, but it's a lot of big fish ready for harvest now in Chile, and we're seeing that getting into the market. But things are about to change, because after that big fish is harvested, then you see the stocking basically from starting of the year getting into the market, and that's much lower. So it's not that kind of rocket science in the sense that it depends on how much fish was put out in the sea, and that has gone drastically down first half of 2020. So we do strongly believe that the numbers that Aakre bench is reporting is more in line with what we think as well. If we move down to Norway, it's we don't see any drastic growth in Norway. There are limitations on the volumes being able to grow basically, and as every year, it depends a bit on the biology coming into the spring and summer as well, how things are developing. That is very much deciding what kind of volumes we can expect out of Norway. So that is the short version on where we see the market. The volumes.
What about for Q4 then, Arild? What do you see in the shorter term?
I think it would be interesting to see how fast it will take before the big fish out of Chile is being done. Basically, there's been a very good biological situation in Chile, so it's a lot of big fish available, and that's why we see the extremely low prices in Brazil as well, because it's been an oversupply to that market, because there are not too many options, as you touched upon, with China being limited as well, and Russia is another option for the big fish, which has been decreasing as a market. So it depends on how fast that fish is being harvested out. I think what we see now with the price increases in the US is that given the US is preferring smaller fish, that we are seeing less supply into that market, and hence the increase in prices even leading up to Thanksgiving, which is normally a very weak period for seafood and for salmon.
Okay, thanks a lot, Arild. Daniel, maybe you could pick this up and give us your sense from a Chilean producer's point of view of what you see happening in Q4 and then 2021.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Well, Q4 started with a very strong October in terms of harvest. I think almost 78,000 tons. Based on the volumes that were dispatched from the Santiago airport in November, we see a slight decrease in the freight volume. Also, better prices in Brazil, which suggest the harvesting volume for November and probably also December will be lower than October. I think this is because of the high absenteeism we are experiencing in our plants after 9 months battling with the COVID protocols. I think everyone has had a very tough year, and our workers are also struggling with their situation at home. So I think this is affecting the total volume these months now. But anyway, I think the fourth quarter will be our highest historical high in Atlantic salmon, with volume in the level of 210,000 to 220,000 tons. Now for next year, as Arild said, because of the lower small release in the first half of this year, we will see lower volume, and there's a discussion much this decrease will be. I think we always have to be careful with the projections. I was looking at last year's projections. We were supposed to grow about 2 to 3% in Chile this year, and actually we're growing probably more than 15. So we look at all the projections. We don't think the increase in productivity will continue at as we have seen over the last 12 months. So we could easily see a reduction of 100 to 130,000 tons for next year, which is a similar drop compared to the 2016 algae bloom. So it's pretty big.